Alright, welcome back to the channel everyone. As a part of the fit series and a DIY for the fit, I'm going to go over the Meguiar's Headlight Restoration Kit. I don't know how well it's going to work on this. This headlight is pretty torn up. As you can see here, there's multiple scratches in here. But we'll see how it goes. This will be a little bit of a review on the product as well as DIY for it. So it does come with standing discs. So everything that it comes with is here, listed here. So it has a little holder for the discs. So there's 1,000 and 3,000 grit standing discs. And then there's 2 of these ceramic sealant wipes and one large glove that they provide you. But it's pretty easy. Basically, the instructions are just to do 1,000 grit sideways. Well, first you need to clean it, like clean it with alcohol or whatever. They tell you to mask the sides. I'm not going to mask it, but you can mask the sides if you want to avoid getting like, you know, when you start wet sanding with the sanding disc, you're going to get like milky substance along the sides. That's what I'm assuming they're asking you to mask it for. I don't care about that personally. If you do, you need to mask it, mask off the edges. But anyway, 1,000 grit left to right, and then 3,000 grit up and down, and then you basically wipe this on afterwards, after you clean in between the grits, of course. Anyway, I'll go over it all with you in this DIY right now. So here's a closer look at the headlight. This one is, I believe, the worst one. The driver's side right there, it's not as bad. This one's pretty bad as far as deep scratches and stuff like that. So we're going to do a quick before and after with this. You can see some nice scratches and stuff right there. And then here's a closer look at everything that comes with the kit. Pretty simple. So you just need water, a spray bottle. I'm going to use some soapy water that's not too soapy, so I'm just going to use that. But we'll see how it goes. So right now I'm just giving it a clean wipe down with the water that I plan to use. Just to get, the first step is to get rid of dust and debris. So again, the second step is to mask. I'm not going to mask, but you can if you want to. Okay, for the next step, it says to use the 1,000 grit disc and spray the disc directly with the water. And you need to sand in a left and right motion. And it says to lubricate the disc with the water frequently. So this headlight has a bump in it, so you're gonna need to be careful. Make sure you get around all the valleys that this bump is gonna provide. And you should do it in an overlapping fashion, they say. I'm just kind of going haphazardly. You can kind of see it clearing up a little bit, at least I can. You can kind of see, what I mean by clearing up is you can kind of see the yellow start to fade, which is what you're sanding away. So it's nice that this foam is pliable, so you can kind of get it in these non-flat areas. And gotta try to remember to do it, keep going in the same direction. Yep. Okay, so it doesn't tell you when to stop sanding. For me, like I said, that you could see the kind of yellow start to fade a little bit. So that's kind of where I knew what I was using to judge how far I needed to go. Also, I just cleaned it off and to this point. So you can see that there's still some places that probably still need to get sanded in this area, which is no surprise because this is kind of hard to get with that thing. A little bit right here, and maybe even out this part of the top, since it was heavier oxidation. You can see there's a line going across here. So I might just kind of try to knock that out right now while I'm using the lower grit sandpaper. Okay, I took it down as evenly as possible. Some of it looks a bit clearer because it's kind of damp. But anyway, try to do as evenly as possible that way. When I do the next sanding, it's a little bit, because the next sanding grit is finer. So I wanted to get knocked down as much as I could with the heavier grit. And then it will be interesting to see the wipes. So I am going to move on to the next headlight. And then before I move on to the next grit. All right, I got both headlights sanded to 1000 grit. Now I'm going to do the 3000 next. Here's the 3000 next. And once again, you're going to want to spray the pad directly and frequently. And now we're going to go in the opposite direction, meaning up and down. All right, now that we got the lens all sanded up and down with the 3000 and left to right before that with the 1000 grit, the surface looks very uniform and it feels very uniform to the touch. The next step, it says to clean it with a glass cleaner. Now I do have the Meguiar's paint dash and glass, and this stuff is really, really nice. It smells really good too. But I'm not certain if the ingredients of this is meant to be used or interact with the ceramic wipe that's supposed to go next. So I'm not going to use this. I'm just going to use a straight up glass cleaner. So go ahead and do that. Make sure it's nice and dry. Okay, last and final step. Once this has been cleaned with glass cleaner, you're supposed to use one of these and do not unfold the wipe. They make sure to say that. Do not unfold it. One of these is good enough for both headlights. They do give you two, but one of these is supposed to be good enough for two headlights. You're going to take it and wipe it up and down with overlapping wipes throughout the whole headlight. And then it says, do not apply in temperatures below 55 degrees Fahrenheit. And this product is going to dry to the touch within 24 hours. Fully cures in 48 to 72 hours. All right, that's one headlight down. It's looking pretty nice and glossy right now. I'm going to quickly move on to the other headlight. I'll flip it over actually. So like I said, there's some foggy spot inside of my lens right here. Okay, when that is it, I have to say I'm pretty darn impressed. Actually, in the beginning of this video, I said that I wasn't sure if Meguiar's kit was going to do it because of how heavily oxidized they were, but at that point I didn't realize that there were sanding discs involved, because I knew that for that kind of heavy oxidation you have to sand in general. Those other kits out there that just you know, I think I've seen some that are just wipe on, wipe off or something like that, and they're not going to do anything unless you sand. So I could be wrong. Maybe they all have sanding like this, but in any way, the headlights look really, really good. Here's a close look. This is the one with oxidation on the inside of the lens right there. But other than that, it looks crystal clear. And here's the other one. Pretty darn easy. Anyone can do it. It includes everything you need. Again, they do include a second wipe. So I am going to confirm with them before I release this video. I'll put it on screen. I'll confirm with them if these are okay, the sanding discs are okay for use on a second round, because you can obviously just keep them, save them for next time, because that's all you basically need for the second time to use this. On that note, you know, this is not going to last forever. It's kind of like a light ceramic coating for the headlights. It will oxidize again eventually, and you'll have to do it again, but hopefully it'll last for a little while. For me, I'm not putting these headlights on again. I have my retrofitted headlights that I have on right now. So these headlights are just going to go in storage, and or maybe just go up for sale. So that'll do it for this video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.